What's up, everybody? It's Acemaster. If you remember me back on YouTube, I'm kind of the guy that did a lot of the covers and stuff with my Utaloid Super Dude, and I basically have made broken promises back then about an original song, which one of which has already been released on Joshua Manga's channel back when me and him worked on Ache. That's been out. I'll put a link in the description about that. But let me explain what happened here. My channel kind of disappeared after a while for reasons I wish not to bring up. It's not nothing that has to do with copyright. I've already anything that has to do with that I've already taken care of and out of the way. But I'm basically making a revival here on a separate account here. I've got everything situated. All my accounts are in line. I'm basically just got to put everything back together with YouTube. Now, what I'm going to be doing on YouTube is kind of a limited version of what I used to do in the past. I'm kind of because of YouTube's. You could kind of take this as my little "Where's the fair use" rant, but I'm not really gonna rant about that. There's no point. It's kind of been this type of thing has already been beaten down already as is. I'm not gonna really fork on about it even more. Whereas it's just copyright. A lot of people get butthurt over the fair use law. Let's just leave it at that. That's besides my point. Hit DashieXP reference though. I'm sorry. Basically, it's gonna be limited. I'm not gonna be doing a lot of my covers. I don't feel safe putting a lot of covers on here with YouTube's broken content ID system. Being a lot of these sites and stuff from third-party sites speaking on behalf of the actual copyright holder when they themselves probably did not go to the copyright holder themselves to notify them of this. So they really can't judge on behalf of the actual copyright holder. And then the only worst that they ever did on my old channel was block something in Germany, which wasn't that bad. That one was actually from a copyright holder in Germany, and I checked that out and it was legitimate. It was an actual record company, so we were cool on that end, but that's besides my point. I'm sorry for anybody in Germany that actually liked that video. Um, I think the worst that it did here with some of my archived covers was just put ads on them. I mean, that's not bad. I already watch ads all the time watching my videos either on here or my phone. What's the point in that? But that's aside from that. I just don't feel safe putting my covers on here knowing that if I ever did make money doing something like originals and stuff like that could most likely be taken away. Yeah, I'd rather not do that. But I don't really plan on making money on YouTube. Let's just leave it there. My music is basically the key point, not the content on YouTube. Aside from the covers and stuff, I'm going to be like making little, I guess, bare boned PVs of my originals. I guess you could do lyric videos, but I'm not one for timing because Windows Movie Maker 2K12 for Windows 8, even though I have Windows 10. I got that being that it was an easy thing to use, and Windows 10 doesn't have Windows Movie Maker. I tried using that, and it is terrible to use. I really liked using Windows Movie Maker back for Windows XP. It was a breeze to use. I knew how to use it. I knew how to time everything well. It was just, no, it was terrible. It was just terrible. This version is just terrible to use. Um, Basically, I'm not doing covers. I'm going to be working more on the original stuff here and posting that more on YouTube and more like news things, like if I'm going to drop an album or a, I guess like what the kids are calling it these days, a mixtape. I might just call it the. I at one point when I was working on this on Bandcamp, my draft, I called it the mixtape after the title. It was funny. But anyway, that's besides my point. God, I'm really into DashieXP right now. I've kind of just grown into that. Um, Basically, besides from all of the stuff I'm doing there, I kind of everybody should know that like in the communities that I frequent that I've been more on SoundCloud. I've made a nest on there doing originals and covers, and on Bandcamp all my original stuff and their respective things are in singles. I think Why and Savior is in a single with their off vocals, which I'm trying to fix. The work in progresses for Y itself are in an album, which is available on Bandcamp. I'll put a link in the description for that. That's kind of used for more educational and or so like what to do or even what not to do. I won't judge if my song is used as a poor example of what not to do as a Vocaloid producer. Hey, we've all made mistakes, and that's how you grow as a musician, with every little sour note. Um, Aside from that, uh, like giant albums as well will be posted to Bandcamp as well as SoundCloud. Though the individual like tracks though will not have downloads like Y and Savior does. Like the edits for the album edits for Y and Savior won't have download on SoundCloud or nothing like that. I'm not gonna do anything like that now. I may sound that may sound mean, but I mean you're gonna have to get the whole. If you want the song, you gotta get the whole album. You got it. That's business, baby. Don't worry, the album's going to be free since I'm a little bit generous. Next order of business here, I do have other sites that I do frequent on that I use. Of course, you've already heard of SoundCloud and Bandcamp. I use Google Plus, and I frequent that more than Facebook even. I'm not gonna give out my personal. I kind of just know I've already have enough things to deal with on my personal Facebook to deal with other people trying to friend me on that. So I'm just gonna just do my actual producer Facebook that you can look up on. I'll try my best to since my personal account is linked to my SoundCloud, it goes to my personal account, so I have to share it to my share every track that goes to my Facebook to my producer page. So I really should start doing that. I don't think I did it with a lot of the tracks that were posted. I really should do that. Besides that, Bandcamp I do use for albums and singles. I do have an official site, which I'm going to have to fix up another time. I'll put a link into that description way later once I get it fixed. Um, Also, aside from that, if anybody's familiar with Krypton's music, art, and basically just archive service, Pia Pro, or Pia Pro, or whatever you pronounce it, but besides my point, if you're familiar with that site and basically like to get your music there, get whatever type of content that I do there, you can. Off vocals and things will be posted there that you can give a listen and download there if you do not like to use SoundCloud or Bandcamp even. For art type of stuff, I don't really make much art, just random drawings or stuff like that pertains to the next site I'm about to do after this is basically I use DeviantArt and stuff like that. I look at art like art stuff and do a couple of things here and there. I don't do it as much, but this is better to do that. Aside from that, the next site, which I'm about to tell you about, is Quotev. It's if you want to hear more or see more of the my how I got my lyric writing start, because I'm kind of a bit of a writer myself. I just there's an old graphic novel series I did back in eighth grade called The Ultimate Game. You're not really going to see much of that because I'm trying to remake the entire series on Quotev, but I'm not going to get much into that until I finish the 11th installment, which is going to be written on that. So yeah, you might start the series on the 11th installment. I apologize for those who like to start at book one. Um, anyway, besides that, I don't. Nika Nika Doga is going to be the same thing as YouTube. I've kind of had a little more technical issue there on there. I mean, I feel more safer putting my covers on Nika Nika Dauga, but not when my bitrate for my videos is apparently too high to be downloaded, and nor do I have the money to get a premium account from them at all. It's just kind of complicated on that end, but I'll still try my best to see what I can do on Nika Nika Dauga. Um, I think that covers that. I'm going to now go into the projects I'm currently doing. I did tell you that I am dropping an album here soon. I'm not going to say when until I actually get everything together and have all the songs finished to make a crossfade, and a proper one for that matter. And then, other than that, I finished one of the songs, which will be the last song, which sums up all of the previous songs that are on there, which consists of Ache, Y, Savior in their remastered glory, or remixed or remastered glory. I guess you could call Aches a remix because it's kind of going to be made in my composition style instead of Joshua's style of chip tune. It's going to be more of the acoustic style with me. But then on, I'm also gonna be remastering Y and Savior, kind of fiddling around with Sophie Zondo's pitching and master tune and Vocaloid with the ones I'm doing there. Man, I'm sounding like a broken record. I apologize. It's late. But this album is going to be great. There's going to be two other songs called After Dark and Scratched, which Scratched is actually finished. I'm not releasing those two yet until the other songs are finished for the album. I'm just not releasing it until the album is dropped, basically. They will be in their respective singles with the respective off vocals and stuff afterwards. The album will not have any off vocals for those who are going to want covers. Now, you can get them off of Pia Pro once I'm done releasing the album. The off vocals and stuff will be dropped soon as possible after that, so don't worry about that. I mean, I'm going to try my best and release my is basically release the VSQs for it if anybody's interested in covering, but I'm not going to do that yet unless somebody actually wants to. I'm not just going to keep it out there and let it just sit there on Mediafire for God knows when. Forget that. But I digress. I think I've done this long enough. To sum up, basically, there's a lot that I've been trying to do here. It is slowly try to revive this channel as well as try to slowly rebuild or buff up the other sites that I frequent as well. I'd just say if you actually want to see more from me on YouTube, I guess drop a like and subscribe, but I'm not going to really sound desperate like that. But do whatever you want for this, and I'll leave the different links to the different sites that I frequent here also later on once this gets sorted out. Uh, Basically, yeah. I mean, I might do another podcast or something like this later, explaining more of my artist personality. I guess something fun to do while I'm bored at home. Anyway, see ya.